Morning VC, it's Steve Whitty here, and it's Good Friday. So I hope the Easter festivities all go well for everyone. Um, this is my video is going to be showing some recent finds. I haven't done one in a couple of weeks. I've started doing a couple of contest entries. So before I go any further, I'd like to put a big thank you to Andy Vinyl Den. Andy, I entered his competition for his 10 perfect, give me 10 perfect albums, and sort of been catching up on watching videos. And Andy went through everybody, posted a video that went through everybody that entered the contest, and he said some rather nice things about my channel and encouraging people to subscribe to it. So I really appreciate that, Andy, and I probably now really understand what the community in vinyl communities really stands for. So thank you for that, and it has had some positive effects. I've gained 5 new subscribers in the past week, so thank you, Merely Chris. I've subscribed back to him just now. Otero85VC, been watching a couple of his videos, great. I've subscribed back to him. Cloudy Milder, a fellow Brit, or Scott. He lives in Edinburgh, so he's a Scot, class as a Scot. But you know, he's come back to me, and yes, so thank you for that. And Vinyl Victim, who I entered his competition for to really give a review on a perfect album. So he subscribed back, and I've received another subscription today, which is Hill 333. So I will get round to subscribing to them. So yeah, big thank you for those people who have subscribed to me. You know, it certainly makes it feel worthwhile. You know, we'll carry on with this video, and I said it's more recent finds, and these finds. Apart from the first couple of items, they're slightly different. Others, these are found in my local record store, and I'll point out which ones were the pound bins, because I did get quite a few of those. But first up, I mentioned a couple of videos ago about the Beatles vinyl collection, which has been put out by Agostini, which is basically bitwork, and you get a 180 version of 180 gram version of the album. And issue 3 was Help. You know, they're excellent quality, play really well. Issue 2 was Sergeant Pepper, and well, you know, you got this in time, and then they announce all these reissues. Probably saves me having to rush out and buy a reissue. So these albums complement my mono versions, sort of protects them a little bit, so I'll be playing more of those than I would me mono. Not that they're in bad nick, but what was interesting, I was in the record store a couple of days ago, and people are already buying them and flogging them, and Pete is selling them for a tenner, and it's $16.99 an issue. So people have bought them, so don't want them, or they're buying them thinking they're going to make a killing on them, and I don't know. I don't skew with priorities. The new issue came out, and it's the White Album. I mean, they're not originals, and you can tell by that. They are the Agostini. They are. They're good. You know, it's good. They did jazz last year, I think I mentioned, and that went well. So who knows what the hell will bring out next year. Next album, this would cost me a couple of quid. I've been umming and ahhing about it. Heartbeat City by The Cars. It's probably the album with the most singles on it. You might, as the hype sticker says, you might think. Hello Again. You've got Drive, which is the big hit single in the UK. Not once but twice. It was originally a 1984 hit single, top 10 single. Then it got used in Live Aid, and it got re-released again with the proceeds going. Got Magic, which is one of my favourite Cars songs on there. Yeah, I it's an enjoyable album. I do like the Cars. Now this was in the £1 section, and this is Johnny Cash's Greatest Hits Volume 1. CBS on CBS label. I'm trying to think when this came out. On here you've got Jackson with June Carter, I Walk the Line, Understand Your Man, Orange Blossom Special. The one on the right is on the left. On side 2 you've got Ring of Fire, It Ain't Me Babe, the Rebel Johnny Hume, The Ballad of Ira Hayes, The Rebel Johnny Humour, 5 Feet High and Rising, and Don't Take Your Guns to Town. It's got a couple of stuff that's known. It's worth checking out. Pete in his store had quite a bit of a haul. Brought a few things, which included in the records. Obviously, valuable records. There's quite a few records that went in the pound bin. Also, I found in the pound bin, this was Dave Clark's 25 thumping great hits. You've got the side 1, which is mono, which is pretty much all their stuff, all their 60s hits. Side 2 is, I think, very much more like more like the later 70s, or they may have got back together and re-recorded, because I'm trying to think. Shannon, it was never out in the 60s. It does highlight a pitfall sometimes of buying a pound record. It looked okay. Yes, it probably needed a bit of cleaning. Side 1's okay. Side 2 sort of jumps a little bit, but you pay your pound, you take the risk. This didn't cost me a pound. This is Deep Purple's In Rock, and this is not an original. This is the Fame reissue from 1982. Fame was an offshoot budget label that you see just in the top corner there. And you look at the record, you see it's not on the Harv, it's on the Fame. The sleeve is just not. It's not the gatefold that was on the original. So it plays it all the same. To be quite honest, if I was looking for a copy of the gatefold copy, original gatefold copy, I saw one in a discery in Birmingham, and he was looking for 65 quid for it. And as much as I would like to collect vinyl, I do bulk it sometimes, paying someone that's over the odds, and it's always a risk. However, you do sometimes come up with treasure that trumps. This was in the pound bins, and the reason it's in the pound bins because the sleeve's absolutely not in the greatest nick. But this is a 1964 reissue of Bob Dylan's The Freewheeling Bob Dylan. Careful not to. There we go. On the orange CBS label, and it plays beautifully. I haven't got that much Bob Dylan, and it's mostly I'd say this is the 4th Bob Dylan album I've got. Other two were Blood on the Tracks was a reissue, Music on Vinyl reissue. I've got Highway 61 Revisited, and I've got A New Morning, which again I found in a pound bin. Another pound bin, Mums and Papa's 20 Greatest Hits. This came out in 1982 on the Music for Pleasure label. It's got all this. It's all got all the hits, and a lot of cover versions that they've done at the time. Yeah, it's okay. I probably would look for a better copy. This, another one I was really pleased to find, and this again was in the pound bins. More of the Monkees on the RCA Victor label. There we go. And on this one, this is sort of like, I think this is the second album. And you've got on here, On You're Not Stepping Stone, the tracks I Know and I'm a Believer. But you also got Mary Mary, When Love Comes Knocking, Your Auntie Griselda, The Day We Fall in Love, Morning, Sometime in the Morning. Yeah, it's a great album. Again, it played beautifully. You um, dead, dead chuffed to find this. So there's it. Another pound record which plays brilliantly. This is Harry Nilsson's "Little Touch of Smilson in the Night," which is the record, or we call it all over standards with an orchestra, and it all just seems in beautifully. I think it's a perfect laid back Sunday morning record. That is really, again, played beautiful. Original RCA Orange label. And finally, this batch of vinyl, I picked up the Best of Peter, Paul and Mary, and this was again in the pound bins, mono. I'm trying to think when this came out. It doesn't say. It's on the nice. It's on the orange Warner Brothers label, monaural, as it was said. It's got Blowing in the Wind, Don't Think Twice. So they pick up the Dylan standards. I think that sort of helped give Dylan a leg up with it with their recordings. Early in the Morning, This Land Is Your Land, For Loving Me, If I Had a Hammer, Lemon Tree, Puff the Magic Dragon, and I'm going to say Puff the Magic Dragon is one of those songs where whenever I listen to it, it always brings tears, my eyes always well up. I know it's got that connotation about the drugs and all that, but to me it's a song ultimately about loss. And little Jackie Piper didn't turn up one day, and you know, Puff the Magic Dragon lost his best mate. You've also got here The Cruel War, Betty and Dupree, Go Till It on the Mountain, and 500 Miles. Again, plays beautifully for a pound. Now, for the first time, I'm going to show. I did pick up some CDs, and Pete in my record store says, nothing wrong with CDs, because in 10 years' time, they're going to be what vinyl is now, which I think is probably correct. So CDs I picked up, some of them. This is Bellowhead's Hedonism. Bellowhead are like a folk band, sadly split up, but really good album. Do a good version of Amsterdam. Really good traditional music with a little bit of a twist. Picked up Still Town by Big Country, the second album. And then Embryonic by Flaming Lips. There's another pick up on the CD right there. Favourite band of mine. I'd never seen this album before. It Bites, and it's Thank You and Good Night, and it was a live album recorded as sort of like they'd originally split up at that time. So it was a little, so thank you there. I was given this, the Madeline Rust Truthful Consequences, and it's best to describe them very like indie rock. The lead singer Lucy Morrow's got a terrific voice. If you can stream it somewhere, I think it's quite a local issue, but it's worth checking out. Madeline Rust, Truthful Consequences. And the final CD, I've surprisingly never had this in my collection. This is the debut album by Rage Against the Machine. Iconic photograph there. Yeah, it's just everything, I put a picture on it on Facebook, and my nephew, who's not a great music fan, and sort of liked it, so I think there's some bands that he likes. So VC, that concludes this recent finds. I hope everyone's well. As I say, everyone have a good weekend. If you want to subscribe, click the subscribe button. If you want to make some comments, feel free to, or we'll get back to you, all that. Thank you again for your continued support. It does mean a lot. So, until the next video, take care. Bye.